But just here in the preseason, before you start, just looking at your roster, how much do you like your roster? Is it the best roster you've ever had going into a season?
I like the collection of guys that we have. I don't compare. I don't really like to compare the teams because you lose all the context of that point in time. Like we could go back and the team, like we could look at a team and we could look at it now and be like, well, it's a great example of we look at the end. We think about the player, the most recent vision of the player, and some of these guys are retired now. So you're like, wow, that guy is not very good. Like, yeah, because he's 10 years away from his prime and he's not playing basketball anymore. But at that point in time, those guys were driving 55 to 60 win teams. So it's hard for me to say, to know each one of them. That's why I was saying in the beginning, we don't know what this season's going to hold or how it'll be remembered, because the only way to understand it is to see it in the catalog of all the other teams that we've had. And I'm sure we've come into different seasons when we were in that first mountain where we felt really good and were validated by the fact that we'd win. Go to the Western Conference Finals 4 out of 6 years. In the 2 years we didn't go during that stretch, we had monster injuries. So those teams had to be pretty good. I don't know how this team will perform. I do think there's a difference between building or picking players and selecting a team. And I think I like the way the team's been selected. I feel good about that. And I felt good about the selection of some of these other teams that we had in the past. I think people will take that and try to twist that into the pieces didn't fit or something. They fit pretty good. We are top 5 offenses and top 5 defenses for multiple years in those years. So they weren't disjointed. We just never got over the hump to get the final thing. But that's part of sports. That's part of competition, and I'm not embarrassed to say that we didn't get it done. I'm proud to say that we were in the arena, we're in the fight every year. We just got beat sometimes by circumstances and a lot of times just by better teams. But we'll see where this team can go. Sometimes the joke I have with people about that is, Barry, is sometimes we'll never know, but like the team that I thought we would have in 2000 going into 16-17, when we added Sabonis, Oladipo, and Ilyasova to the team that was so good in 16, I thought that team was going to be pretty good, hard to beat. And it had some momentum behind it too. But you never know. You never know. The external expectations question from the beginning of the press conference, the year that we won 50 games with CP, or we had a 50-win pace before COVID with CP, a young Shea, Schroeder, Adams, no one could have expected that team to win at that clip. We almost had a home seed if we kept playing. I think we were playing for the 4th seed the night that the season got shut down. So I've done this long enough to say I don't have any idea how it's going to unfold. I do think that I like the compounding nature of the players we have, though. I think that's good, but it's going to need time. I'm pretty confident about that. We're going to need time to play together, to learn together, to build up the synchronicity you need to be a really, really high-level team. And we can't underestimate the age, because it's a huge advantage to us in a lot of ways. But I always talk about the silent forces that exist in the NBA. Like, those are always things that you're going to have to battle with any team, but especially a young team. And this team has been exceptionally strong in this area. But it's not something you can ever take your defenses down against, because it's not intentional. It's just something that can pervade. But our guys have been, that's one of the most inspiring things for me about this particular group of guys, that I really, really, they give me energy in a lot of ways, because I think their intentions and ideals are really in the right places to try to win. And they're ambitious, but without an agenda. And I really respect that for young people. That's a hard thing to do for any young person, but especially when you have the level of talent and attention some of these guys have. It's really, really special. And if we can maintain that, I think we can be a very good team for a very long time.